sponsored by Audible. Go to audible.com/cow to get your free audiobook today.
So I'm gonna start this video off on a positive note because I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be pretty upset by the end of it. Oh, okay, here goes. We love video games. We really do. This is a great time to enjoy the hobby. There are so many developers coming out with really unique and creative games on so many different platforms. I mean, you could game literally all day and never even get to half of the really great stuff out there. Now, with that said, there are problems, sometimes very big ones, with modern video games. So let's talk about them. Games don't respect your time. Some people get really excited when a game developer says this: "Our new game features 40+ hours of gameplay." Yeah. But I don't. I don't have 40 hours to spend on one video game. I mean, unless the content of the game justifies that long of a runtime, but that's never the case. This probably isn't going to be a very popular opinion, but games are just needlessly long. If I'm going to spend $60 on the game, I want as much content as possible. And that's a fair point, but when they say it's 40+ hours of gameplay, that's not really what you're getting. Because these games are built on doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe it's killing bad guys or transporting a person or item from point A to point B. I mean, if you're doing the same things over and over again for 40 hours, is that really 40 hours of gameplay, or is that 1 or 2 hours on repeat? See, if you play video games at all, you've had this conversation before.
Yeah, you just have to get past the first few hours, then it gets really good.
No, just make the game interesting from the beginning and get rid of all the stupid filler stuff.
Thank you for returning to me my chickens. My brother is in the next town and will give you a reward.
Why can't you just give me the reward? When does this game get good? So all I'm saying is that if a game claims to take 40 hours, I want my brain to be challenged for 40 hours. I don't want to do the same mind-numbing tasks over and over again so I can find out what happens next in the story. A lack of character diversity. Look, game developers know a huge chunk of the people who play video games are obnoxious frat guys with Dorito-stained fingers. That's why the cover art for most big AAA games is a picture of a stoic action hero, looking towards the earth as if he's saying, "I've seen things. Terrible, awful things." You know, the kind of image that makes a frat guy say,
"Oh yeah, I relate to this guy's heart of gold and timid vulnerability!"
But to the rest of us, a muscular he-man with a deep grovelly voice just isn't something we can relate to. I mean, I get it though, the industry has to play to their perceived base, but just so they're aware, there are other kinds of characters besides this guy. They killed my wife, now I want revenge. Games keep being broken. We're in the middle of a really unfortunate trend right now where people who buy games on day one are unable to play them because they're broken. And sometimes it takes weeks for them to be playable. It just makes all the pre-launch advertising feel really sleazy.
You're gonna be there day one, right? You gotta get it on day one. You've gotta pre-order.
But why? So that I can't play it? I mean, if I wait a few weeks, the game will actually work and it'll be cheaper, which leads to the next one. The problem with pre-ordering. I've never understood the idea of pre-ordering video games. I mean, is it an issue of scarcity? No, it can't be that because there are plenty of copies available on day one to people who didn't pre-order. But if I don't pre-order, I won't get the shiny exclusive helmet. I'm just probably out of touch. But anyway, it's just a scheme to get you to buy a game for the full retail price when we all know that you can usually get it 15 bucks cheaper online if you just wait a couple of weeks. And there will be updates that make the game run better. I still just can't bring myself to spend 60 bucks on a video game anyways, but again, that's probably just me. It all revolves around violence. Still, okay, not all games revolve around violence, but I think that we can all agree that a huge majority of the games that have been released since the 1980s have included violence as a major component. Oh, he's one of those people that thinks that violent video games are bad for society. No, I'm not at all. I just think that we're 30 years into this and it's about time to branch out. There's just so many amazing things that games can be, but we're just stuck shooting and punching and kicking people. Why are we so attracted to violence? Some of the best video games of the last few years don't include any violence at all, so we know it can be done. I would just love to see a AAA game in the near future where you don't hurt people, or aliens, or anything. I just think that'd be really cool. Video games have the potential to do so many cool things, but we're just stuck doing the same things over and over again. And I think that that's the main problem with the industry. So there you go, just our opinion, take it or leave it. Now I'm gonna go play one of the 100 games I own on Steam. I've only ever played like 10 of them.
Hey, if you're interested in the history of the video game industry like I am, check out the audiobook Console Wars by Blake J. Harris. It just came out recently and it's a really interesting listen. You can get it at audible.com/cow, and if you use that link, you're going to get a free audiobook of your choice and a free 30-day trial membership. And they've got over 150,000 titles to choose from. So check it out, audible.com/cow.